G'day viewers, this is Troy from Troy's Visual Arts channel. This is a variety video I'm doing, covering a few things I've been up to in the past day or two. Yes, in amongst this mess is a bunch of stuff I've been doing, dismantling a 5-disc stacker CD player, stereo units, which I've got a bunch of great useful parts as I've shown in my previous video. AC motor from a sewing machine, which I got from the markets last weekend. And my latest NBTV related project, my mechanical TV that is, which is a multi-standard Nipkow disc televisor. So first things first, my AC motor. Yeah, last weekend at Dapto Markets I picked up for only about $5 an AC sewing machine motor, which is made by Wernard or Vernard, however you pronounce it, Meadowbank, New South Wales, and it runs off mains 240 volts and draws a current of 0.38 amps. Anyways, yeah, I believe this sewing machine motor was made probably in the 40s, possibly 1930s, or as late as the 1950s, as it looks quite about that vintage, and it uses cloth insulated wire cords. But anyways, yeah, this sewing machine motor actually works, so I've tested it out. But it did need a bit of a clean up on the inside, as the contacts on the motor rotor, the copper contacts were pretty well dirtied up with magnet dust, and it was pretty much arcing on the inside, as I was seeing a lot of sparks happening. But I've pulled this motor apart, cleaned all that shit up. Yeah, took the magnets out, put them back in again after cleaning, and powered it up again, and it works a lot better. Now I'm going to power it up and demonstrate it in operation. Well, before I do so, in order for it to work, seeing I don't have the sewing machine pedal speed control, I've pretty much shorted the end of this cord, which is required to be plugged into a pedal for this machine to operate, or this motor to operate. So yeah, what I did was I've shorted it out with a hairpin. Now I'm gonna power up from the Variac, and yeah, you'll see it in operation, and it starts kicking in about 140 volts roundabouts AC, and crank it up to mains power of 240, and she's a flying. There's still a bit of sparking on the inside at the back where the magnets make contact with the motor shaft, but I'm guessing that's probably normal anyhow. But it was a lot worse when the copper strips were dirty. And it was giving off a rather pungent electrical smell, really, really bad. Now it's still giving off a bit of a smell, but it's not quite as bad. Yeah, that's a pretty powerful motor. Ideal for my upcoming mechanical TV project, which is the next thing I'm going to be talking about. I thought, okay, why not make a multi-standard mechanical Nipkow disc televisor, which is what I've done here. I've got 3 standards of hole spirals. On the outer edge is 60 holes for a 60 line mechanical television standard. On the middle section of holes is 32 lines, NBTV standard, and on the inner spiral of holes is John Logie Baird 30 line standard. And I've drilled the holes into a record. Yeah, I went to the Salvos the other day, and yeah, where I got the junked CD stereo system. At the Salvos, I bought pretty much most of the scratched up discs that weren't in album covers. Yeah, because records are apparently really good as Nipkow discs. I chose the really scratched ones because, I mean, I do believe in the value of vinyl and didn't want to ruin a perfectly good unscratched record. So yeah, I bought a few records from the Salvos, which are all sitting up there for other Nipkow disc players televisors I could make. And no, there isn't a Kamau record in there, although the thought of it's quite entertaining. But no, I'm not that unkind. Unless, of course, it's scratched up to the max. But anyways, so yeah, this is my record that I've drilled 3 lots of mechanical televisor standard holes into. Anyways, drilling the holes, I decided to drill them as small as possible. So what I did was I used a needle to drill with. I've got to form a drill. So yeah, I've got one of me sewing needles, which is, you know, obviously less than 1 millimeter thick, and yeah, just mounted it inside the drill, and it's not in there nice and sturdy. And yeah, I painstakingly drilled the holes into the disc. For a template, I used Gary's program, which makes a template of pretty much any standard up to about 128 lines. I did that. I pretty much did that print screen and pasted in Corel Photo Paint and superimposed 2 other lots of standards onto the image to make a free standard disc template. Then I printed this out onto 4 pieces of paper. Obviously, it's probably not the best thing to do as print and screen, and the way the graphics is, the crosses don't look all even. So yeah, maybe there might be some inaccuracies in where the dots are plotted on the printout, but we can only see what happens when I put it all together and test it out. Otherwise, yeah, I decided to do it this way so I can get 3 lots of whole standards onto one template. So yeah, that's my upcoming project. And I haven't quite forgotten about me NBTV camera project. I'm still going to be working on it at some point. I pretty much slapped this together pretty quickly, and it's not real. Yeah, I didn't really give much thought to the fundamentals of optics and all that. So yeah, it could be that the lens may not be the right distance from the Nipkow disc inside, and yeah, using a LDR, light dependent resistor with shiny cellophane around it to hopefully reflect the light onto it, yeah, was a bit of a dumb idea anyhow, because it probably bounced the light all over the place. But it was suggested by one of the NBTV members that I use a solar cell, because with a solar cell you've got more area of where you can pick up light. You can pick up pretty much light from all over the scanning area by using a solar cell that just sits right around it and covering the whole area. Whereas using a photo transistor or a light dependent resistor, you need a condenser lens behind it to condense all the light from the scanned area into the one small area where the light dependent resistor or the photo transistor is, in order for it to pick up the the variations of light that get scanned. But anyhow, I'll just have to find me a photo cell and stick it across this and see if it will actually work. And also have to build the appropriate circuitry too. And also, yeah, I need to build a motor build a motor circuit that will synchronize to the NBTV standard motor speed in order for it to pick up the picture at a constant NBTV rate, in order to accurately display it on an NBTV standard televisor or NBTV the big picture program. So that's something I'm going to be looking into when I get the resources and get around to doing it. But if I don't get this working, I'll just simply turn it into a mini televisor, because all I need to do is just take the lens out, put a magnifying glass in front of there, stick a LED bank behind it to give the light signal for the disc to spin really fast, and then create the picture from that, and there you have it. Instant mini NBTV. The only thing is, I should have drilled the holes with a needle instead of a 1mm drill bit, so the pictures will be rather crude and unsharp. I can always replace the disc and stick one with finer holes in it. That's an afterthought idea if I don't get this working as a camera. And of course, I've been playing around with this NBTV to scope circuit. I haven't got my MP3 player to plug it in and power it up, but in one of my last videos I did show that it was displaying Felix the cat, and I found out that particular file I actually encoded to TechAD standard mechanical television video, which it sort of worked through the circuit, but the picture was like expanded at the top and squashed at the bottom. Now, I encoded a bunch of other files, videos and pictures to TechAD standard as well, and ran it through the circuit, and for some reason they didn't really come up on the scope. For some reason it worked only with Felix the cat. Still looking into it. I've recently tried putting a variable pot at the just before the op amp for the Z axis section, so that way I can attenuate the input signal in case it was overdriving the NBTV video signal to output to the Z inputs. But yeah, that didn't exactly work neither in terms of making those other signals playable. But it does indeed attenuate the image, the Felix the cat image, when I adjust the pot. Anyhow, I've been tinkering around with that today. Still no real luck in getting NBTV 32 line standard pictures displayed on the scope as of yet, but I'll eventually get it going, I suppose, in time. Now, next thing, the kind of shit I've been pulling out of this 5 CD stereo unit, CD stacker unit. I've pulled out a nice transformer here, which, according to the specs, you've got the obvious 240 volt mains coming in, and the secondaries, you've got three lots of secondaries. You've got a 22 volt AC secondary, which I believe is centre tapped, as there's like 3 leads coming off it and a centre lead. And we've got we've got red leads and white leads. The red one's 13.5 volts AC and the white one's 3.4 volts AC. So yeah, multiple output transformer. This will come in handy for one of my future projects. So I'm happy to have this added to my collection. And of course, I'm in the process of pulling off what I consider useful parts of the circuits of this junk CD system. You can see that heatsink will come in handy. That looks to be like some sort of power transformer or voltage regulator of some form. I think it's more like a power transformer, but I believe that will come in handy for something. There's a few things I can pull off this. I generally wouldn't take off the electrolytic capacitors because, I mean, assuming they're a number of years old, they probably wouldn't be performing up to par as electrolytes do dry out. You can, of course, reform them, but yeah, I might pull the big ones off for the sake of filtering for power supplies and all that, because with filtering, you can get away with I guess you can get away with a not so up to par performing capacitor. So you're just pretty much filtering AC anyhow. Yeah, there's some things I can pull off this board as well. Bunch of push button switches I can pull off this board. As mentioned in a previous video yesterday, I've got some DC motors. I pulled off the CD laser rack unit. That racks forward and back. I believe I can probably use this to mount a lens on and rack it forward and back, which would be very useful for my for any of my NBTV camera projects. And yeah, what else do I have that I've pulled off this unit? Yeah, a couple of fab looking heat sinks. These would be really good for enemy power circuits that require heat dissipation. These are real beauties. I can really use these in my future projects. So yeah, great score. Well, and one thing I have discovered too, I can see what's happened with this CD stacker unit, which is why whoever previously owned it junked it. The power supply went kaboom, as one of the regulators is toasted, as you can see here. Completely toasted and crumbling the bits. So yep, that explains why this unit was junked. And yeah, these covers here, I can use them as part of an enclosure for any of my future projects as well. So they'll definitely come in handy. And as mentioned in a previous video, I've got the disc changer rotor, which I can use for some kind of project. Quite neat, I'd say. Yeah, so that's the goings on in my technical world. Now Now I feel tempted to go around to residential areas where they're having curbside pickup season and look for some more junked electronic gear and strip them for useful parts. I'm quite thinking of doing that. So, yeah. Although I'm half tempted not to because I'll end up cluttering this place up. But on the other hand, why not? So I'll do that probably in the next few days or something. And this is what I've been up to. This is Troy from the Troy Visual Arts channel signing out.